Sawadee Cup and welcome to another episode here for the Funky Pod, and it's Tuesday, and you know what it means? Thailand Tuesday, exactly. So let's talk about all things Thailand. No, let's not talk about all things Thailand. Let's talk about the one thing Thailand that matters this week, and the only thing that matters this week is, of course, the World Cup. Thailand and the World Cup. So, what do we have to say about it? So many things, because Thailand, if you're familiar with the World Cup, you should boycott it. Let's all boycott. We should have boycotted it like in 2010, to be honest. But that's not for me to say right here, because this is Thailand Tuesday. But as you can see, Thailand is not playing at the World Cup. Nevertheless, Thailand is a huge football country. Like, football is so important, not only local football. Hey, Buriram United, I think it's the perennial champion. Buriram United or Muangthong Thani Football Club, I think, are the two biggest ones. I've been here forever, but I always lose track. But I think Buriram is probably like, that's the one that I know. So, kind of funny, by the way, because Buriram is like in the poor region of Isan, like the northeast, where it's really poor, actually. And then that's the most famous football club with the most purchasing power. It seems like it. Crazy. That's also where the high-speed racetrack is. I see a pattern there. Just saying. Anyway, so football, it's a football country. Like, we love football here right now. And it's football, not soccer. So we love football here. And to an extent that everybody's a football fan. Everybody. No, and not just to play like the gender card. And I know gender in 2022, we shouldn't have it. But it's not just that guys are football fans, like girls, everybody in between. Everyone's a football fan, okay? And everyone knows football. Like, everyone like wearing Liverpool shirts. And if I see like some Thai friends or some of my students like traveling to the UK or something, they all visit like the Liverpool Stadium, the Man United Stadium, Old Trafford, whatever. Like, everyone's a football fan, which is interesting because Thailand is so bad at football. I mean, national team wise speaking, not everybody's bad at football. And I'm joking, right? But it's just interesting to see that. And so the biggest thing here is usually the Premier League, the English Premier League, not the Thai Premier League. We call it Premier League too. The English Premier League is like the biggest thing here. So usually the most people are supporting Liverpool. I think Liverpool is the biggest probably. Lots of Man U supporters here too, even so. How dare they doing Cristiano like that? But Man U supporters are a lot here. And Chelsea and so maybe, but mostly Liverpool, Man U, maybe Leicester, because of the Thai affiliation, sponsorship, and so on. But I think Liverpool and Man U are like definitely the biggest clubs here in Thailand. So that also leads into like national teams being supported, of course, and mostly they support therefore the English national team, which is just hilarious. That like, I mean, maybe Thailand didn't get conquered by the British, so maybe that's how you can support them. I don't know, but other than that, like, yeah, go England. What's also interesting is that everybody knows everything about football here. Like, data-wise, like I'm trying lots of Muay Thai, right? As you can see, and my Muay Thai coaches, they know everything, like about, because they bet so much on football, not because they're like really into they're into it, but because of the betting. So they bet on German Bundesliga games. They bet on second Bundesliga games, like the second division games. I wore a shirt once of my hometown team, which used to play in the second division. Now they are I think in the fourth or whatever. They got relegated. And then they recognized the shirt. It's this freaking small city in Germany, like that no one really knows, and especially not for football. And they recognize the shirt and they're like, oh, I know the shirt. It's a Wolfsburg. I'm like, what? How do you know? And he's like, oh yeah, I bet on them. Like, so it's crazy. So they know everything in this regard. So that's very fascinating to me, because I don't know who's the top scorer in the Thai Premier League, for example. But then this betting, like lots of like people that are not maybe from the upper class end up betting on football. Like, betting on football, even though betting officially, it's not allowed in Thailand, but betting on football, you can do this basically everywhere, all the time, whenever you want to, which is crazy. And it's just also like really sad that those. That sounds naive, but those betting houses just really run with it. They're like, yeah, give us all your money, and especially the poorer people who couldn't afford losing it, right? So that's pretty sad. And I just gonna say, even though I know the answer, but I'm gonna say like I don't know why this keeps happening. Yeah, you probably have an idea why this keeps happening. Back to football itself in the World Cup, though. So I think what I read, I guess I read that on like in the newspaper, like online. I think the Thai government had to spend like around 50 billion Thai baht for the rights to broadcast the World Cup. That is also the thing, right? Where does the money come from? But whatever, if there's a broadcasting budget for special events that make the people happy, then so be it. And it's like, and it's not I'm not criticizing Thailand per se, because it's in every country. It's like, hey, we have problems here, but look, it's the World Cup. Germany did the same thing, right? I always give the example when the World Cup was in Germany, like while the World Cup was in Germany, they would increase taxes, for example. Like, hey, you're all busy with the World Cup, taxes up. So everyone's using those events, of course, to I know, astroturf like their issues, right? So that's obviously something that happens all the time. In terms of boycotting, not watching, not supporting, not cheering, I haven't heard much here. So if you look at the local reporting of the World Cup, it's very much in line with like what you see maybe on American television in terms of really focus on the games and on how awesome Qatar is and look how pretty. In contrast to that, like European coverage, and I can only speak for German. I've seen the Dutch one a little bit, and I've seen the English coverage, and all three of those nations spend, I'd say, 2/3 of their time talking about the human rights issues in Qatar and the problems in Qatar, and maybe like 15 minutes before the game, they talk about the game. But like the hour before, they talk about like all the issues around Qatar and so on. And then 15 minutes before, they're like, okay, we get it. So now we talked about this, but there are also people playing. So let's, pardon me. So let's also talk about the game. While here, it's just all about the game, like excitement, World Cup, woo. And it's similar to what I've seen from the US coverage so far, at least. Very interesting. Okay. Again, to wrap this up, like it's an important event in terms of people coming together, cheering, talking about it, and so on. So, what the World Cup is supposed to do, if it wouldn't be like all corrupt, right? So we ignore corruption here. I didn't plan on saying it, but it makes sense, right? And just enjoy the World Cup. So I'm leaving it at that because I don't want to get into any troubles. With that said, who are you cheering for? Who's your team? What do you think is going to happen now that Messi lost that? You know what happened the last time Argentina lost the opening game? You know who became world champion in 1990? The last time that happened? You know it. So, with that said, we already know that Germany is going to become world champion. So, congratulations to my country for surprising everybody. Let me know who you're rooting for. What do you think about football? Do you go to bars here in Thailand to watch it? Do you watch it at home? How do you do it? Let me know. Shout out in the comments. Funkitpod on social media, funkitpod@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, rate this podcast. Then more Thai/football fans will find it. And until then, as always, stay safe, take care. Chok di, Sawadee Krap.